Hey guys, this is Goku, and on this channel we talk about poker and ideas that can improve your life. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and click the subscribe button because I'll be honored to have you here. Today we're going to jump to our last session of the Big Blind Call versus Button Open GTO spot. We are just finishing up it. As you can see, our overall EV loss is at minus 27.4 BBs per 100 hands. So we are trying to have a session that is below this number to lower it down at least a little bit. This is a spot that's a tournament spot played on 50 big blind stocks, where we are the big blind player calling the 2.5 BBs button raise. And if you're interested in watching the previous sessions, you can check out the playlist in the description of this video. We're playing 25 hands per session, so the playlist will have 20 episodes, and this is the last one. So really excited about this. Hopefully we can have a close to perfect session and finish on minus 5 BBs of EV lost or something like that. Let's see. For the first hand, we've got King 4 off on a 7-6-9. We're gonna check and we're gonna fold. Yeah, if we have hands that are check folds, then definitely we will have a perfect session. But let's see. Queen Jack off on an 8-9 deuce is a call here, or even a raise probably sometimes. No, it's just a call 99.91% of the time. 4 of clubs on the turn, so we're gonna check. And we're gonna fold to the turn bet. Yep. Pocket deuces on 9-4 king. We're gonna check and we're gonna fold to the bet. And we should actually call here 99% of the time. And we already made a medium EV mistake, so it's not going to be a perfect session, but it might be a near perfect one if we can avoid making such mistakes. 7 Jack off on a King 3 Jack with 2 diamonds. We're gonna check it and call the bet. Ace on the turn. We're gonna check again. Villain checks behind. And we've got another ace on the river, so we're gonna donk bet it. And this should be a check 95% of the time. Donk bet just 5% of the time. We get raised, so we're gonna fold. And we can see the solver's actually doing 20% of calling here. Queen deuce of diamonds on a 7 king deuce. It's gonna be a check. And a call. 3 of diamonds on the turn. We're gonna check it again. Villain checks behind, and we've got a 7 of spades on the river, and I think we're gonna check it for the third time. And are we calling the overbet now, or should we rather be folding here? I think we are okay to call this. I'm gonna call it. Okay, we should be calling 13% of the time. We can see the EV loss is small, but we should be folding 87% of the time. I thought this was more like a 50-50 type of spot. And the villains actually got the 7, so. 7-10 off on a 10-8 queen. We're gonna check and call. 9 on the turn. We're gonna check again. Villain checks behind. And we hit our straight on the river, but the board is pretty wet. What do we do here? Do we check call? Do we donk bet? I'm gonna go for a check. Should be a check 76% of the time. The villain overbets the pot, and we're gonna call it. And the villain's got a better straight. 4-6 off on a 3-5-8. We're gonna check and call the bet. Another 8 on the turn. We're gonna check again. Should be betting here a third of the pot, 42% of the time. And on the jack on the river, we just need to overbet it. And actually, the solver prefers donk betting here, 79% of the time. Overbet is just 1.3% of the strategy and a medium EV loss. So this is interesting. We shouldn't be overbetting here with our missed straight draw, but rather donk betting. Makes sense. King jack off on a 7-6-8. We're gonna check. Villain checks behind. 6 of spades on the turn. We're gonna try and bet a third of the pot. Should rather bet 3/4 here. Villain called our bet. Ace on the river, and we're gonna check it. Villain now bets 5 BBs. And I think we should call this. I'm gonna call it. And it's actually a fold 98% of the time. Calling is fine EV wise, I mean a small EV loss, but just 1.4% of the strategy. And villain's actually got a6 for a full house. So nice hand, sir. a7 off on a 4-8-4. We're gonna check and call the bet. 9 of diamonds on the turn. We're gonna check again. And I think folded here, right? Yep. Queen 4 off on a jack 5 jack is a check and a fold. Queen 5 off on a 3-8 deuce is a check. Villain checks behind. We're gonna check on the 10 of diamonds. Should be betting 25% of the time here, but when the villain bets, we're folding. King 5 off on an ace deuce deuce. We're gonna check and fold. You can see the solver's actually calling here 38% of the time and folding 62. 7-10 off on a 6-4 ace. We're gonna check and fold. 8-9 suited on a 10 king 10 is a check and a fold or a call. 38% of the time. Fold 22%, and the solver's actually raising 40% of the time. 7 deuce of hearts on a 9-10 king is a check. Villain checks behind. Jack of diamonds on the turn. I think we just give up on a hand like this. Okay, we should be betting sometimes in 62% of the time. But when the villain bets, we are just folding. Jack 7 off on an ace-6 king is a check. Villain checks behind. 10 of spades on the turn. We're gonna check again. And we should be betting 31% of the time. Betting 2. And also betting more 25% of the time. 5 of hearts on the river. And I think we're gonna donk bet it here. That's the ideal action. Played 21% of the time. We get raised. And I think we just fold here. Yeah. Ace 4 off on a king jack 7 is a check and a fold. Queen deuce of diamonds on a king 10-6 is a check and a fold. Jack 3 of hearts on a queen 4 king is a check fold as well. And a call, or a call 26% of the time. Yep, 9-10 off on a 5-3 deuce is a check and a fold. 5-3 off on a 5-9-8 is a check and a call. Deuce of diamonds on the turn. It's mostly a check, I think, yeah. And the villain now bets 3/4. This is a spot where we should be calling. Probably not, but I think the solver will call here at least sometime. Okay, the solver calls here 84% of the time. This is super weird, and we've encountered this kind of spot a lot playing the big blind call versus button open. The solver really likes to stick with hands like this, where we got some small showdown value and the board is quite wet. But yeah, folding is fine EV wise. Queen 10 off on an 8-9-3 is a check. And I think it's a raise. Okay, it's rather a call. 99% of the time, raising is fine EV wise, but not in this spot. It's not a frequent play in this spot. And when we get raised, I think we just fold. 9-7 off on a 10-queen-queen is a check. Villain checks behind. 8 of spades on the turn. So we're gonna bet 3/4. We should rather be over betting here. We go call. And how much should we bet here? Perhaps a dong bet is enough. We're not gonna know because this is a rare line that we took. But the villain called us anyway with an ace. Now we have queen 3 suited on a 9-9-6. We're gonna check and fold. Ace 5 suited on an ace deuce 8. We're gonna check and call. We pick up 2 pair on the turn. We're gonna check and raise it up. And we should actually be shoving here 33% of the time, raising it up to pot 20% of the time, and probably calling 50% of the time. Okay, we've played our 25 hands for the day, so let's exit the session and see our results. Yeah, just like we wanted, a very nice small overall EV loss session for our last one, so that's super nice. We just made 2 medium EV mistakes, but overall, yeah, our frequencies have been on point. We overfolded a little bit, but other than that, it's been a really good session. Perhaps even it was the best session we played so far. Was it? Let's see. Minus 8.77. Yeah, this was actually the best session we played so far, so that's awesome. We got our overall EV loss down to minus 26 BBs per 100 hands, so that's also great. Yeah, the frequencies and most interesting hands from the spot I will analyze in another video. So stay tuned for that. Thank you very much for watching. This was a great spot to play. I certainly learned a lot. If you haven't seen the previous sessions, please check them out. We've had some really interesting spots here, some really huge EV losses. But yeah, it's been fun. Thank you so much for watching. If you stayed this long, please leave a comment. Just write GTO or ask a question if you have any on your mind. Subscribe if you're not already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. You want to learn how to play poker? Great. You have little or no experience playing poker? No problem. Do you want to learn the fundamentals, the most basic principles that allow you to easily win money when playing with casual players? That's perfect, because this course was created specifically for people like you. My name is Mateusz, I've played over 3 million hands of No Limit Texas Hold'em, and I'd like to teach you how to play poker like a pro. What you will learn in this course are the fundamentals, the ABC of poker condensed into 21 short and easily digestible lectures. In each lecture, you will learn a different concept which you can test out and practice immediately after watching. Well, do you want to become a good poker player? Do you want to be able to beat recreational players easily? Do you want to have a great time winning at your local home games? Great! Get this course now and start winning at poker.